public schools really don't seem to be interested in, shifting over to any type of AI, teacher-only model. They really seem to value, what teachers bring to the table, the human element, the emotional support that teachers offer. But when we talk to Mrs. Boyer, the leader of the private school, she said that she isn't looking to use AI as a teacher anytime soon, but it's not something that's completely off the table for her. It really, to her, I think it just depends, how the technology changes and how education moves going forward.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Maybe the public school is less, willing to just like totally revamp the model, but maybe the smaller private schools are more like, hey, we'll keep this as an option on the table in the future.
I think that they're more willing to experiment, and just more willing to try new things, since they don't have the state oversight and the state restrictions. They just have more freedom to be able to try these things. And I think maybe a lot of it is also just they run with a business model where they are attempting to make profit, and that might be just something to know that why it works a little bit different and why they might be trying to try these new things.
But no Alpha School will be opening up in El Paso anytime soon?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't see any Alpha School opening up in El Paso, but either way, it is an online private school, so students probably could enroll in it.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting discussion, Claudia. I just wanted to kind of talk it through because I see that probably within the next few years, we're just going to see more AI in schools, right? And sort of more application of AI technology and kind of like education generally. And so it's interesting, you kind of got this early look at where it's at, and it seems like, we're not sure, but it seems like inevitable that in 5 or 10 years, there will be probably even more AI use in schools. Do you think that's fair to say?
I think that's what it looks like. It's difficult because there have been conversations also in the education about moving away from technology and trying to go back to having kids use paper and pen. But I think just this technology being implemented and then also being supported by our current presidential administration, I think right now we're just in this big stage of growth, and really in 10 years we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. We'll leave it there, Claudia. We'll definitely look to you to keep us informed about everything going on in schools and the finance and all that stuff, but then also kind of the implementation of this technology. So appreciate you reporting as always.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Always happy to help, and I know this stuff can be confusing, so I'm glad to add some clarity when I can.
For sure. We'll have you back on soon.